भद्रं कर्णैभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवा स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let us now pray together. We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord, who is the origin of the universe. Lord, Thou abidest in all, Thou art all, Thou assumest all forms, Thou art the origin and goal of all, Thou art the self of all, Thou art existence, knowledge and bliss. Salutations unto Thee. May the world be peaceful, may the wicked become gentle, may all creatures think of mutual welfare. May their minds be occupied with what is spiritual and abiding. May our hearts be immersed in selfless love for the Lord. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. For a moment, let us close our eyes and think of the unchanging core of our being. One way of doing it is to feel that in our heart as a bright spark of light. Let us concentrate all attention on that. With concentration, I see this light is becoming brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger. My whole being is filled with that light. Not just that, the same light I see has spread all over the universe. Everything is dissolved in this vibrant, blissful, peaceful ocean of luminosity. This is my true nature. Realizing which I go beyond all fetters of time and space, fetters of mortality, fetters of suffering. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear friends, today we are very fortunate to give this Sunday service. We have Swami Kripamayananda from Vedanta Society of Toronto. Many of you have heard the retreat that he gave yesterday. It was a brilliant exposition on harmonizing our faculties. And today he will be speaking about how work helps us to purify our mind. Swami Kripamayananda and myself, we joined the order in the same year, that is 1976. And we spent 2 years together in our headquarters at Belur. We have since then got closely acquainted and become friends. We also had our monastic vows together. He worked at a very prestigious educational institutes run by Ramakrishna Mission, the school at Purulia and the one at Asansol. Both are in Bengal. So he is a gifted teacher, and earlier he used to teach at the high schools and all that, but now his job is to teach at much higher level. So the truths of Vedanta that he has been doing for last several years. So I request him to begin his discourse of today.
Good afternoon to everyone. Such a wonderful assemblage again. Like yesterday, we have so many learned seekers of truth. So we all are co-travelers. I'm not really, as Swamiji said, when he said he's a gifted teacher, I was feeling very squeezed. So I don't know, I never teach, I just share my thoughts. I read some books, I share my thoughts. There's nothing of teaching in me. It's God who teaches us, and God chooses some to teach through some people, and I consider Yogatmananji is one of them whom really God has chosen, and I like his lectures and his explanations is some extraordinary. The way he does, when I came to Toronto, Yogatmananji, I met him, and I asked him, Swamiji, they talk about doing guided meditation. How to do? I don't know anything about that. He said, I also don't know anything about that. Whatever I do, I say. And that is so fantastic meditation. I adopted his method, and people say, Swami, you do very nice guided meditation. I always thank Yogatmananji for that technique he taught me, but I like his more than whatever I say about even the guided meditation. Yesterday was fantastic. I wish today was little more his guided meditation and less of talk. That would have been nicer. Anyway, thank you very much, Maharaj, for inviting me to Providence and giving me opportunity to conduct the retreat and also to speak here today. And today's topic, as you heard from Swamiji, is purification through work. Now, purifying mind is the main thing in spiritual life. If we could somehow make our minds pure, we have achieved. Now, other thing will be automatically done. So, to do mind purification is the main thing. So, how to purify the mind? So, everything our spiritual practice purifies the mind. So, like in the Gita it is said, it is knowledge that purifies the mind most. There is nothing like knowledge that purifies the mind. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram ihamudyate. That is the most purifying thing, most pure thing. But it's not easy to attain jnana. We need to proceed towards that. We have some things that we can do. We can work. We can pray. We can try to concentrate our mind, which we find very difficult. Difficult because of only one reason, because our mind is not pure. If mind would be pure, even meditation will be very easy and simple. So, what would purify our mind? And why is our mind not pure? Not pure because of so many distractions in the mind. Mind, we try to focus on one thing because it is not one-pointed, that's why it is scattered. And why it is not one-pointed? Because there are so many pulls to mind. There are so many ways that mind is pulled on all other ways. And that pulling of the mind is done by our desires. If we look into your own mind, you will find so many things we have desire. Desire for this thing, that thing, and finally desire for good health, desire for name, fame. We have so many desires written in our heart. And whatever you can study, there are more desires than that in our subconscious mind. And with all that mind being pulled in so many directions, how can we focus it on object of meditation, on divine? So that becomes difficulty. Now, how could we purify mind? If purification of mind is most important thing in life, in spiritual life, how could we purify the mind? Everything purifies, our prayer purifies, our trying to meditate purifies, but the most convenient way to purify our mind is the most convenient way we are prone to. We are prone to work. God has given us the quality that we want to work. Without work, we cannot remain. And that is so important. But the problem is, work doesn't seem to purify our mind. We work something and then there is more of anxiety, more of disturbance of the mind, more of trouble in our mental status. It becomes more restless by work. And we say, mind will be purified by work, mind will be calm by work, mind will be stabilized and one-pointed by work. How that is possible? That is the only challenge. The work that disturbs our mind, that very work can make our mind focused, concentrated, meditative, spiritual. That the work has that quality. Now, there must be some technique in that type of work. Yes, that technique is called karma yoga. That work made into yoga, the work channelized in such a way that it becomes a thing, a power to unite with the divine in us, with divine, our divine soul, with divine God, whatever we say. So, the work in Sanskrit is called karma. Karma means action. Actions are of two types. One is physical action and mental action. Physical action, although performed by body, is impelled by the mind. Mind, therefore, is responsible not only for mental actions, but also for the physical actions. And again, actions produce impressions in the mind. So, mind and karma are intricately interrelated and influence each other. The work and the mind and the work. The way we work, it will have its influence on mind. The mind, what type of mind it will have in the quality of our work. Why there is inequality among human beings, born and growing up in the same circumstances? Is God partial to some? We find some are happy, peaceful, good, and some are very troublesome, and themselves they are frustrated, and they are not happy. Some are so happy, live nicely. So God chooses some to suffer, some to be happy and peaceful and serene. Who is responsible for that? The answer of Karma Yoga is say, no, God is not responsible. God is equal to all of us. But who is then responsible? It is we ourselves are responsible for what condition we are in. Law of karma explains that we have impressions in our mind from the karma of the previous birth. And according to the quality of action in previous lives, we reap the fruits in this life. Good actions produce good result, bad actions bad. So if we have in some position that we don't like or we are not satisfied with that, we feel we are not achieving that, no one to be blamed. It is we ourselves should blame ourselves, because we must have done something in our past life that has resulted in this condition of our life. If we are not able to meditate and another my friend meditates very well, God didn't make us do in different ways. We are same, God wanted us to be devoted to Him. But my karmas, my desires were so much in my past life that disturbed my meditation. Whereas my friend had nice good karmas, he brought it with his birth, and that makes him convenient for meditation because of the purity of his mind that he has got with birth from past birth. This is not fatalistic or luck, dependent on luck or predestined philosophy. Karma is wonderful philosophy that says you can change the karma. Whatever karma you had brought from past life, that is okay. You don't blame anyone. You don't blame God, you don't blame circumstances, you don't blame your parents for what you are. You blame yourself. You take the responsibility on yourself, and yet you take the courage to say, I will change my situation of my mind and my position now onwards. I can make it in a good way. So that thing comes to the karma yoga. If my past karma made me what I am today, my present karma will make my future better. I want to be a better person, and that is in my hand. I can change my karma that I have brought. Karma can be changed intensely and willfully. That is the law of karma. Every individual, through each thought, word and deed, is constantly altering his or her psychophysical system. Our actions leave behind impressions that alter our inner disposition. You see that what I said, some are so good in behavior and happy by their nature. They have very good inner disposition, their swabhava, their quality, their inner disposition is something very different and very good. Some others don't have that. So, but we have the power to change. How can we change? Through our action, words and thought. And we need to be alert and try for this. It is all about our willpower to change ourselves for better, to become a better person. So much of law of karma gives us hope in that we will become better. With the theory of law of karma, we find that how people who seem to be not good at all became like saintly person. We know in the story of in the Ramayana, there is the story of Ratnakara. Ratnakara was a robber, highway robber, and he caught hold of one saint, Narada. And Narada was tied, and he said, give me whatever position you have. Narada was a devotee of God. What position he will have? He had only the name of God with him and some musical instrument he used to play. And he tied him and he said, I want to rob you. He said, what will you rob of me? And you are robbing all the travelers and you are accruing sin for it. Why do you do this? This is the way I support my family. And Narada said, but the sin is only to you. Your family will not share your sins. He said, what are you saying? My wife loves me so much, my old mother is there, my children are there, I do all this work for them. Why will not they share my sins? So go and ask, okay, I will tie you on the tree, then I will go there. So he goes and asks, he says, that is your responsibility as the head of the family to support us. Why will we share your sin? How you manage to support us, it is up to you. If you do something unlawful, something bad, that is up to you. So they said that we won't share your sin, we cannot share your sin. What sin you perform, it has to be you. Sin cannot be shared by others. That is the thing. You cannot share the sin. So he came back and opened and said, yes, you are right. And said, now you protect me, now you save me, what should I do? He said, there is a way. If you do try to concentrate your mind, try to purify your mind through meditation, and then you will be purified. All sins that you have committed will go. You will be a transformed person. You will be a new person, newly born person, as they say. And then what I have to do? You repeat this mantra and meditate on God. Then what mantra? He said Rama. He tried to say Rama. Rama is the name of God. And Narada could not repeat the mantra Rama. His inner disposition had become so bad, the God's name could not be repeated. He had become so impure by his deeds, so sinful by his deeds. So Narada thought what to do. He cannot utter the name of God. So he said, just reverse, utter Mara, Rama, Mara, Mara, it will become Rama, Rama, ultimately. He said Mara, Mara, he said Mara, then he could repeat Mara. It was a word having no meaning. But when it repeated, it becomes the name of God. So he got that mantra and he sat for meditation. The sitting for meditation is the willpower that he used. It is the karma that he is doing in the form of meditation. Karma can be done with hands and serve the people or work in the factory, but karma can be done through our mind. But the willpower that I will change myself, my karma, I will make a new karma. He sat for meditation in the forest itself, away from the family without telling anyone. And he did so much concentration that he forgot himself. He forgot his body. And it was month after month, years after year that happened. He was just repeating the name of God. He was totally oblivious of external thing. The white ants were there in that forest. And slowly white ants creeped into his body. He did no motion was there. He was not aware of his body. How deep concentration he had. What a strong willpower he had to change himself, to make himself better, to make himself free from all sin. So the ant hill grew around his body. That much was tapasya or austerity or spiritual practice or meditation he performed. And one day, so somehow he changes his inner disposition is changed, and he becomes he comes out of that ant hill, living man, emaciated, must be not eaten anything for so many months or years. So after that, suddenly he saw two birds, and the words of the poem came out from his mouth, unlettered person. And he started speaking in the language of a learned being. He became wise, he became learned by the grace of Narada, but more than that, by his own willpower to transform himself, to purify himself. When we purify our heart, we become wise. We don't have to read books. We know the story of Swami Adbhutananda. He was unlettered, Sri Ramakrishna's disciple. He was illiterate at all. So Sri Ramakrishna wanted to teach him some alphabets of Bengali. He said, say, first alphabet. He said, pronounce it. He could not pronounce that. Sri Ramakrishna tried 2 or 3 times, but he could not pronounce. And they said, no, you don't need to learn anything. It can be done by you, but you will be a wise person. And that happened. He was so much devoted to spiritual practice, meditation. Whole night he used to meditate. And after that, his inner eye, all the knowledge came. And one day, one scholar was explaining Upanishads, the Vedanta, which Swami Adbhutananda never read after later, many years after. and he was speaking something, and then he said, yes, what he is saying, Pandit is saying, so true, it happens that way. Whatever he was saying, that how you should find your inner self, open the lips aside and the inner self will come out, take it with very cautiously, and says, yes, Sudhir, he was saying to one of Brahmachari, Sudhir, Pandit is saying correct, he is right, it was in the book. But how did he know? He had never read. Through the practice of meditation, through the willpower to become spiritually evolved, through the karma that he did through his mind, through the purity of heart that it attained through his karma. Karma can give so much purity. Karma by nature is binding. It binds the soul to the cycle of samsara. And samsara is the cycle of birth and death. That's what karma does. We do some work, it produces result, desires are there, our desires are never fulfilled. We have desire, we try to fulfill that desire. Once that desire is fulfilled, immediately other desires come up. So the desires lead us to take new body, we get new birth, and that get new life, and then again there will be desires, full of desires, again death, and whole life was full of desires, and that will be again create the power of desires to create new body. Desire has so much power. You see, sometimes you go for window shopping, nothing is there, what is there, we go and walk. But you know how desires are powerful? You see some nice dress, and you said, why to buy, I have so much dress. But somehow you like that. Again you go, after 2 days you go in the same mall and do the window shopping. Let me go inside and see. Desire has come to see the power of desire. Yes, it is good, but how much is the price? It is pricey, okay, I won't buy. Again, after 2 days, you go for a walk. You have money in your pocket, you have brought your credit card. It's so beautiful, I don't have this thing, though other I have, let me buy. You buy that dress. What is that powerful thing? That desire that arose in your mind and you were not able to control your desire. Desire can make you buy the thing that you need not buy. Desire is so powerful, it will create another body. It will make us reborn in this world. Desire is so powerful thing. Now desire has to be controlled if you want liberation, if you want freedom. And this life of samsara is a life in bondage. Life of slavery. It is not the life of joy. Unless in this life, as the human being, we can be liberated. We can have control over our mind. We can make our mind pure, purified. The person whose mind is pure, who is spiritual, for him there is no bondage. Their desires are very less and they don't bind. They have no power to bind. Desire becomes weak, mind becomes powerful. And when desires become powerful, mind becomes weak. We become weak. And desires start impelling us. You buy this, you eat this, you do this. And you cannot say no because you are already weakened. You have not developed the power to resist the desires. And you do whatever the desires do. So this cycle of birth and death is the result of desires of many lives. And this life also we create desires until and unless we purify our mind and purify our mind through karma yoga. That is very important. What does karma yoga, the action does is, it helps us to control our mind and work will be controlled. The karma by nature is binding the soul to the cycle of samsara or cycle of birth and death. It can become the facilitator of freedom. This very karma which is binding, which is enslaving, which is troubling can become a source of peace and happiness. And it can bring us freedom only if the motive of action is changed. Karma thus becomes karma yoga. Karma, when it is done for our selfish needs, to fulfill our selfish desires, it is karma, binding, troubling, enslaving, enchaining. When it is done as karma yoga for the good of others, for the sake of benefit of others, then it becomes ennobling, it becomes peace generating, it becomes a cause for freedom. So karma has to be turned into karma yoga. Karma yoga is the actions performed without attachment. Attachment to what? Attachment to the fruits of action. So it needs little explanation. Without the thought for the self or oneself, but for the sake of others, without concern or expectation of praise and blame. The actions are performed with sincerity, dexterity, and there is no lethargy or slackness as a place in karma yoga. So we say karma should be performed without attachment to the fruits of action. When we perform some action, it will have some result, some fruits will be produced. So does karma yogi not want that things should be produced well? Definitely it wants. Otherwise, how it can be a good karma? You are sincere in karma, you will put your whole soul in the karma, in your action, and the fruit will be produced. What the karma yogi does and what the karmi does, what is the man of action and man of karma yoga, the difference is the person who works thinks, I have done this, I should get the credit for this success. And that is the problem. That is the binding thing. That is the trouble comes with that I. And karma yogi says, this has been performed, I don't take any credit, performed well, it is done by the power of God. Or there is another way to say, if you are not believer in the personal God, if you are a believer in the jnana yoga, in the path of knowledge, it was performed by the senses. That then senses perform on the sense objects and the thing happened, I have nothing to do. Who I am then? I am witness consciousness. I am just present and watching how nature is working. This body becomes a part of the nature. You don't identify yourself with the body. Body is the part of the nature, work is the part of nature, they are acting upon themselves, things are being produced. Where am I to get the credit? So that is the path of jnana yogi. Very difficult to deny or disidentify yourself with the body. Very few are there who can really feel that I am the witness consciousness, I am not the body. Body is just the covering of this my soul or myself. That people will be very few. But most of us who identify ourselves with the body will have to think that God made me do through this body and mind. Let credit be His. I have nothing to gain. Karma yoga is a powerful technique of removing the impurities of the mind and purifying it. What actually are the impurities of mind? Let us find this in the words of Sri Ramakrishna. You know, impurities of mind are desires, as we said. The desires which create anger, which create frustration, desires which create more desires, desires which creates greed, lust, and all attachment. Those are all the impurities of the mind. Those impurities doesn't allow us to meditate. Those impurities doesn't allow us to remain peaceful and calm. Those impurities doesn't allow us to behave properly with the people, because those make our ego very strong and act in a very erroneous way. The ego has to be made in the right place. To make the ego in the right place, we have to have the controlled mind, the purified mind. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says beautifully about so many things that make the impurity, he makes into two. Purity, Sri Ramakrishna says, purity of mind is an essential condition for the attainment of the ultimate reality. So that is sine qua non for spiritual progress. Purity of mind has to be done. Real purity is freedom from lust and greed. Two things. Lust, excessive wish, desire, strong desires, and for anything. And then greed, never-ending possession for the things. I need this, I have to keep this, or this greed. In many forms, in many ramifications, we can see in ourselves how much we have greed in us, how much things we try to possess and accumulate and gather, which even we don't think we need. And sometimes we think we need, but it is not so much needed. This greed is ingrained in us, that power to enjoy, desire to enjoy things is ingrained in us, and sometimes this desire becomes very strong, and then we call it lust. So lust and greed are the impurities of mind. Making mind free from lust and greed is extremely difficult. Making mind pure is extremely difficult. Sri Krishna says in the Gita, there are three doors. There are three things that are the doors to hell. Trividham naraka sedam dwaram nasanam atmana. That is the door to hell, and they are the destroyer of the self. Self is destroyed. Three things are there. What are they? Kama, krodhas, tatha, lobha. The lust, anger, and greed. These three are the gateway to hell, which will make you enslaved and which will make you destroy yourself destroyed. Dwaram nasanam atmana. Yourself will be destroyed. So don't possess those. Don't go towards those doors. Greed, lust, and anger. But so difficult to control. And Sri Krishna says, those who can control those in this very life, they are real yogis. Shaknoti haivaya sodum prak sharira vimokshanat. We are living in the body, you have not given up the body, and yet you have controlled your lust and greed. Then kama krodha, that your anger and lust, then you are sayukta, you are real yogi. Already you are karma yogi. Only those who are karma yogi can control. Yogis can control this greed and anger. And those are grace. Sayukta sa sukhi nara. And those people who can control this are really happy person. Happy person are not those whose desires are fulfilled. I want to eat a chocolate and I get, and I feel happy and dance. Oh, I got chocolate. I want my team to win in the match, and it wins, and I become so mad with joy. I'm very happy person. My favorite team has won the match. That is not the real happiness. That is for short time. For a few hours that lasts and that goes away. Real happy is the one who can control greed and anger while being in the body, even before death. This all has to be done before death. And all we have to achieve. That's what the scriptures say. Mind free from impurities leads us to freedom. So that is there. If mind is free from impurities, freedom is, they say, there is one very nice saying in Sanskrit about the thing that can be achieved so quickly. Like a fruit, myrobalan, they call amalaka fruit, in the hand. If you have some fruit, small fruit in your hand, then you have already possessed it. You can eat it, you can see it, you can eat it with you. Now you have gained that fruit, you have already got the possession of that fruit. So like that, if the mind has become purified, then freedom is hasta malakavat. You would like the fruit in your hand. So our goal of spiritual practice is how to make our mind pure, and Karma Yoga has a great help in this. Karma Yoga doesn't say us, you have to always meditate day and night. It says, go and work, do whatever you are doing. Karma Yoga, therefore, is a process of releasing the soul from the bondage of body and mind. Soul becomes free from the bondage of body and mind. Karma Yoga is the way to freedom. We should seek freedom in action and not freedom from action. Not that we want spiritual growth by giving up our work. When Arjuna had gone in the battle to fight with his enemies, who were his own cousins, and then there he says, oh, killing our own kinsmen, it is worse, it is not good. So Krishna, I want to give up this. Krishna said, what are you giving up? If you give up, people will say you are a coward, you are such a brave person, you are the leader of your army, and if you give up, then what? How will you survive? You don't have anything. They are not going to give you share of your legitimate share of your land and kingdom. So I will ask, I will beg alms, beg food, and eat and survive by that, but I won't fight. So that Arjuna said to Krishna, that I want to meditate and leave our arms, no this humbug of ruling the country and getting the share and fighting for justice, nothing I want to do. Krishna said, that is not the way. That is not the way, you will not succeed. What is your inner disposition, that it will not allow you to live in peace in that way. You are a warrior, you are a leader of your people. You have to perform the duty that is assigned to you. You cannot just change the thing out of fear, out of delusion. So what he taught, Sri Krishna taught, perform karma yoga. That will purify your mind, and purified mind, then if you want to meditate, then you can meditate well after performing karma yoga. How to perform karma yoga in the battle? I have come here and either I will die or they will die. I will have to kill. He said, whatever is justified in the battle, just battle, you will have to perform that. But don't do it like an ignorant person, just fighting the battle. Performing the karma, it's not action, but perform karma yoga. Then Arjuna said, how to perform karma yoga? Just think that you are not doing. You are just an agent, an instrument in the hand of God, and you are doing. So don't take the credit or blame. Don't be sad for being defeated or being victorious. Take both equally. And that becomes karma yoga. By that process, performing your action in the battlefield in that way, you will purify your mind. After purification of the mind, if you want to meditate, then you can meditate. Otherwise, you can't meditate. This purification of mind is very much needed. From the Bible, Jesus said, if you come to offer flowers on the altar, and you had altercation before coming to the temple with your brother, you had fight with your brother, so then don't offer that flowers to God. Don't put on the altar. Go back all the way to your brother, talk with him, reconcile with him, make peace with him, then come and offer, and then only it will be accepted. Why did Jesus say that way? If you offer something in a disturbed mind, in an impure condition, in a frustrated way, you are not peaceful, you are not doing it full mind. And how will God accept that? God accepts the things when we do it with our mind fully into it, with our purity of our mind. That thing God accepts. God accepts our love, God accepts our pure heart. When heart is already disturbed, it is already impure, purity is gone by your fight with your brother. So go back to your brother, reconcile with him. That will make your mind peaceful, calm and fit to offer flowers on the altar, which will be accepted by God. So God doesn't accept if we do without any thought about Him, any love for Him. And love can come through only by the purity of the mind. No one can survive without action. So everyone performs action. That's why karma yoga is very important. We are prone to action, we are given to action, it is there ingrained in our system, and just we have to change the motive of our action. And we do the same work, the thing changes its effect. So Sri Krishna says, no one can live without action even for a moment. Everyone in the world works. So work is wonderful, this is already given. Now just try to make your work or karma into karma yoga. Turn that karma into the work for action, work for purification of mind. Through karma yoga, mind is purified, and with purified mind alone, liberation is possible. So through that pure karma yoga, people have attained the freedom, attained the truth. They have realized the self. And there are the examples Sri Krishna gives in the Gita, that Janaka is a king. He performs all the duties of a monarch. He has the administrative duty and other duties. He is such a busy person. But he is a free person. He is a liberated soul. How did he got that liberation? Does he meditate whole nights? No. He got this liberation or freedom or purity through karma alone, through karma yoga. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthito janakadaya. That's why you perform karma yoga, and then it is possible to do that. Karma yoga implies seek not, avoid not. That is one thing of karma yoga. Although don't jump and grab the other's work. We are often prone to work, and sometimes we get attached to not only to the fruits of action, but also to the action itself. But there should be no avoiding of action. Gita also says, don't avoid ma karma phale heturvu ma te sangostva akarmani. May you not be attached to not working. Don't be lethargic. Don't be lazy. You have to work. But don't be attached to the fruits of action. Don't be attached to the karma also. So, seek not, avoid not. Swami Vivekananda said, a karma yogi will, whenever something is offered, you are asked to do, asked to help, you said, I will do, surely I will do, I will not avoid. But don't jump into the action. But that doesn't mean that we are not helping people when they are in need. Sometimes you have to offer yourself, can I help you? Like that. That doesn't bind you. When the karma is done, the karma yoga is karma done through true love for the good of others. So when you go to help with true love for that person, it won't bind us. When you go for having your own name, your own praise, you seek your praise. If I work, I will be praised by this person. Oh, how wonderful, helping hand he is, so or she is. Then that will bind. What you do with the motivation of helping others, trying to reduce the suffering of others, that becomes karma yoga. And that doesn't bind. So you can always offer a help to others whenever there is that. Karma yoga is best performed supported by bhakti yoga and jnana yoga. You see, doing karma yoga by itself, I work not for me but for the good of others. I don't seek anything out of this work that I do. Only for others. I don't have anything. It can be done. It is possible, but extremely difficult. There is no supporting for your karma yoga. In long run, what will happen? Unknowingly, the desire for name and fame comes without knowing that I should be praised, why I am not recognized. One person donated money in one of our centers in India, and the Swami said, do you want name to be inscribed in here? He said, no, Swami, I don't want. Later on he went and something was already done, and somebody said, or some idea came to him, and he writes back to Swami, Swami, I had said I don't need the name, my name plate there as a donor, but now I think my name should be there. You see how this karma becomes, that he wants his name to be there, that person. Swami said, it's already done, there is no space we left for putting your name. Then he complained to higher authorities, the Swami is not writing the name. That's how the desire for name and fame creep in if we are not really doing karma yoga. And karma yoga doing alone is very difficult, but supported by bhakti and supported by jnana, supported by love of God and supported by knowledge of the self, divine, it is easy to do karma yoga. You offer karma yoga and say, Lord, I offer my donation to you, in your name I donated, you take care. Then that will be helpful to you to go ahead with that. Or you say, who am I to donate money, whose money it is? It is all like a trustee, like Swami Vivekananda said to Rockefeller. You think you have earned a lot of money, millions of dollars, and you are not utilizing this for the good of others? He was asking him to do karma yoga. That's why you suffer, you are frustrated, you are unhappy, though you have so much money. This is one story I should have told yesterday. So when someone asked that, I know that money is not important, but somehow I feel that more money would be perhaps good. So money can never be good. Utilization of money for good work only can bring us happiness. And that's what Swamiji said, utilize that money for the good of others. Feel yourself as the trustee, that you have earned this money, is it people's money, it should go back to people for the use of the society. Whatever you need, keep that. Extra, you should go. They say money is like you are sailing in water, in some waters by boat, and suddenly there is hole in the bottom of the boat, and water gushes in. You don't need water there, water comes in. So what you do? Whatever extra water is coming, you just pull that water and throw it out. Pull that and throw it out. And try to close the hole. if you don't throw water out of the boat, what will happen? Boat will capsize. They say money is like that. We are in the sea of the world, and we are like the boat, and money comes in, comes in. If it is more than what it should be, it will sink the boat of life. Boat of the joy of life will be sunk. So, the way is, if you don't want to close the hole, then no need to close. But throw that extra water, extra money that comes for the good of society. Always give, distribute that, give in charity, and keep it whatever is necessary for you. And that will make your boat sailing in life, that will make in the life of happiness. Karma Yoga does not say what we should do, but why and how we should do. It doesn't say whatever we do is perfect. Our work, our duty, our job, it is perfect. It itself can become a spiritual practice if we do it in right attitude. What is the right attitude? If you take, you are a person who loves God and have faith in God, then think that you are serving God. That is the right attitude. By your teaching in the school, or working in the bank, or working in the factory, all is like serving God through your work, by the hands and intellect that God has provided you. You are offering to God. With this attitude of serving God, being in God, today in Boston they sang one beautiful song that I want to look. My looking should be to you, my hearing should be to you, my seeing should be to you, and my dying should be to you. When I die, I should die with God. When I see, I should see God. When I hear, I should hear God. That's whatever we hear, it is all God's words coming. Whatever I see, it's all God's face in various forms that is there. So like that, if we could make that the students in front of me or the patients in front of me are various forms of God. Something divine feeling comes. You bring the touch of God, you bring that with your thought, and then your work becomes so sweet. Work is never drudgery then. It brings you happiness because you are in the presence of God. God means happiness. God means sweetness. God means fulfillment. God means peace. And you already found God in the person that is facing you. You are a teller in the bank, some person comes and say, God resides in that person. God has come in this person. You will give the same, take the check, give the money in the same way. But your joy will be infinitely more that I am serving God. And it will be karma yoga. It will not something again came, I am standing like that, oh my legs are now aching, and not that way. This happens. When we are happy, the tiredness also is not there. When we are lazy, it becomes tired. They say on a Sunday, if we say today is Sunday, I should feel relaxed, I'll sleep a little more. And the breakfast, I will take leisurely, late breakfast with leisurely, long time. After that, you open the TV and see the things in the TV. Then you get so bored. But if you wake up in the time, do your spiritual practice as every day, and have the regular breakfast, and then go for a walk for 2 miles. And then come and do some other chores of your household. You feel more energetic, more happy, more peaceful because you are doing something good. You are being active. You are doing that should be done. You didn't change your routine. You didn't give tamo guna or lethargy to enter into you. You remained active. So remaining active and with the attitude that prayer is the thing that energizes us, that makes our action into karma yoga. Karma Yoga brings equanimity, same-sidedness. When you start seeing God in your students, suppose you are teaching in a school, you see God in different forms, they are sitting there. Then you find that all students are same. You don't distinguish, that is a bright student and that is a weak student, and you start giving more attention to bright. It doesn't happen. This is God in the form of bright student, that is equally a God in the form of not so bright student. You give equal attention and it becomes same-sidedness. Whichever patient comes, whatever is the patient dealing, some are very friendly patients, they talk so nicely, some are not so friendly, but you treat them equally in Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga brings equanimity, samata sarva bhutes, and in all beings you bring equanimity, and that equanimity is freedom. is liberation. Liberation in Karma Yoga is freedom from ego. Our main problem is ego, that I, pride. And this all thought about I is all misinformation about I, myself that I have. I am this much tall, I am that looking, I am this educated, I am very good in behavior and habit, all saying I. One Swami used to say, why they gave this beautiful phone the name iPhone? It should be you phone. So that's you, it's thou, you, karma yoga, I. This becomes egoistic. So why iPhone? So like that, it is about you. The I or ego is the root of all our disturbance and impurity. And that I, we need to, it sometimes becomes very big and takes the form of pride, arrogance. This is all because of I. So this I should be brought to its proper size. If it could be eliminated, it's extremely good. I is not there. But it is very extremely difficult to really get rid of I sense. If you replace I together with God, instead of seeing I, you always see God sitting in your heart. There is no I. So that would be the best, but that is difficult, something I remains. So when I remains, we should transform that I that we have as a raw I, this very arrogant, proud I, into a very nice, sweet, soft I. And that is called ripening of the I. I that we have at present is unripe I. It is hard, it is sour, and it is unripe, it is untasty. It is not sweet at all. So that's why we cannot mix with the people. That's why people don't like us. So when this I, this ego gets ripened, then it becomes soft, it becomes juicy, and it becomes sweet. Then you are liked by all. What can transform this ego from unripe ego to ripe ego? It's Karma Yoga. Try to see goodness in others. Try to accept others as they are. Try to see God working in different people in different attitude. All are God in different behavior. Some is very God in very good form and friendly form. Some is God in not that friendly form, but all are God in different forms. When we try to see God in other person, without making and thinking that he should be that way and he's not that way, our mind trying to make according to our wishes, if we do that, then we find peace of mind. And with that, our ego starts ripening, we start changing, we start seeing equanimity. Karma Yoga is the practice of unselfishness and loving service to others. Swami Vivekananda said unselfishness is God. He gave wonderful definition of God that is found nowhere in no scripture. He said unselfishness is God. What a wonderful definition. Unselfishness is no ego. There is nothing you. It is all thou. And that is the definition of God. If we can become perfectly unselfish, we have found God. Practice of Karma Yoga helps to withdraw the scattered mind from selfish indulgence. It makes our activities selfless. Such activity purifies the mind and becomes fit for meditation. Karma Yoga, by its psychology of doing good, helps one to be good. Karma Yoga says, start doing good to others, you will become good. And Jnana Yoga says, meditation says, you be good, pure, and you will start doing good. Jnana Yoga, meditation is difficult. Karma Yoga is much easier compared to that. So try Karma Yoga, do good to others. Slowly doing good to others, you become good yourself. When you handle the flower, the fragrance comes in your hand. When you do good to others, the goodness comes to you. So that's how it happens. Karma Yoga, as it purifies the heart of a seeker who loves God, leads one to realize Him as the inner self. Through Karma Yoga, one succeeds in God realization or self-realization and to utilize one's time in the activity for the welfare of all. Swami Ranganathananji said about spiritual progress. Spiritual progress, how it can be measured? Yesterday was question, how we can measure our own spiritual practice, or how we'll know other person has developed spiritually. One beautiful quote is there from Swami Ranganathananda, the 11th president, the 13th president of our order, who is no more there, who passed away. So he said, beautiful, every sentence is very nice. Are you growing spiritually? Not for others, think for yourself. Are you growing spiritually? Says Ranganathan. Can you love others? Karma Yoga. And mixed with bhakti, love. Can you love others? That is one sign of spiritual progress. Can you feel oneness with others? Love so much that you feel I and that person is one. Others means not only your family members, others means all. Can you feel oneness with others? Have you peace within yourselves? That love will generate that peace. Do you find peace, or you feel disturbed and sad and frustrated? Have you peace? The spiritual growth will bring peace to our mind, to ourselves. Have you peace within yourselves, and do you radiate it around you? So much of peace you have that you start radiating peace. Peace, purity, all these things they are also infectious like cold and influenza. When flu is there, you are there, some others are there, they catch the flu. Purity is like that. Peace is like that. If you are peaceful and people come around you, they feel peace. But that has to be very strong peace that already developed in it. Do you feel peace within yourselves, and do you radiate that peace around? That is called spiritual growth, which is stimulated by meditation inwardly. What helps in spiritual growth? Meditation. And that alone is not sufficient. And by work done in a spirit of service outwardly. Calm, meditative, serene, inner disposition, and yet reaching others, in helping others, in serving others. And serving others, seeing God in others, and seeing self in others, or doing it in the form of doing good to others. Whatever attitude you have, according to Jnana Yogi or Bhakti Yogi or agnostic, that will make our mind pure, and when mind has become pure, we are progressing spiritually. Then we will feel what Ranganathananji is saying, that we can feel oneness with others. I can find peace within myself, and when there is peace already there, I can meditate well, and I love to work and serve others. That is the goal of spiritual life. Thank you.
Many thanks, my dear Kripamayananda. It was a wonderful lecture about how what we otherwise also keep on doing, the work, how that work can help us to get purified. And with that purification, we see that we get everything from within. The joy that we seek is with us. Being impure, we don't say it. But when we use the work to purify ourselves, we will be able to see that very bliss within us. This picture that you see here, as they say, one picture is equivalent to 100 words. So this picture tells this process, that you work outside, say pushing that rock, but that work is reacting on you. The work is, if done properly, then that rock will get pushed up, but it will also remove the ignorance and impurities in one's heart. So that is how the work is very helpful. I suggest that one should read the book by Swami Vivekananda, Karma Yoga. That's a wonderful book, and how we can purify ourselves through work. That was a wonderful, excellent lecture. Thank you, Kripamayananda. One reference, he was telling why it is called iPhone. There is a message in that iPhone, to say that iPhone actually means I, the ego, I is phony. And so it is iPhone, you say. It is just phony. So, it is. So, let me tell you about the upcoming programs. And of course, you are aware that after the program here, today's Arati and all that, there is the music concert downstairs. So, you are all invited to join the music concert. In coming week, all the programs will go on as usual. Yes, Vishwanath, you are to do the offertory. Yeah, because people want to give, but you don't have the basket. So, let the basket be moved quickly. And yes, next Sunday, which is going to be the last Sunday before we kind of close for this regular activities of the center, we take a summer break, and that is going to be that topic is Sri Ramakrishna as a human. So this is, and the other programs during the week will go on as usual. The Tuesday and Friday classes at 7:30 p.m. Tuesday the topic is Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. Friday is the topic is Shvetashvatar Upanishad. So you are all invited to attend all these programs. And let me now conclude with the closing prayers, and then there will be the Arati, and then you are all invited to join the fantastic music concert. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians. By the way, today is Father's Day, so it is, so Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahur Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.